The greatest creator is always watching everyone. Xie Feng. January 1st, 2021. Translated by Qin Yu and edited by Kair. The Chinese sages warned us that there are divinities watching over us. I perceived the revelation that the greatest creator watches everyone when I became the guide of Life Genuine. From the perspective of material thinking, as well as from those of vision, hearing, tasting, smelling, and touching, we cannot simply understand the phenomenon that the greatest creator is always watching everyone, nor is it easy to understand that from the perspective of rationality. Can the greatest creator see us all? Can the greatest creator manage it? In the public places of cities, especially in banks, stations, and traffic arteries, cameras are everywhere. All the activities of people within the scope of those cameras are recorded constantly and clearly. If anyone misbehaves within their scope, the records will find them out. Since I became the guide of Life Genuine, all Chanyuan celestials have come into my view. That is to say, I have watched every one of them. Wherever they are and whatever they do, I see them. I hear what everyone says, see what they do, and even know what they think. How can I do this? It is not by Dharma eyes or Buddha eyes, but simply by what they say and do. Every word that anyone says and everything that they do exposes them. If someone says and does nothing, that exposes them even more thoroughly. Why should I stare at everyone? Because I want to be able to implement my guidance consistent with their states of being. Everyone's words and actions show their inner worlds and the depths of their states of being, and I can learn from this who will go to the 1,000-year world, who will go to the 10,000 world, who will go to the Elysium Celestial Islands continent, who will continue to reincarnate, and who will fall into hell. I will adjust my guidance plan according to everyone's states. If some Chanyuan celestials cannot go to heaven no matter how they endeavor to self-cultivate, then I will give up on them as soon as possible and let them fall off my radar screen. This fact tells us that the greatest creator must be watching everyone and guiding us in ways that are not easy for us to detect or understand. The greatest creator is very observant of the words and deeds of each of us and records each of our merits and demerits without omission. From this, we will be given timely rewards and punishments. We can understand the truth that the greatest creator is always watching everyone from these three real-life phenomena. People who raise animals know that however many chickens, ducks, pigs, horses, cows, or sheep they raise, they know almost every detail of each of their animals. Which chickens lay more eggs, which ones lay fewer, which pig is fat, which one is thin, which animals are ill, and which horses have good tempers. It is so clear because the keepers watch the animals constantly. Those who have been teachers know how many students are in each of their classes and the state of each one. You should be very clear if you monitor each student constantly. A couple has 10 children and they are basically clear about the state of each one because they always monitor them. Some parents might not be able to predict the futures of their children because they do not understand them enough, but that is due to their lack of insight and wisdom, but in any case, they are always watching them. There are so many advantages to becoming aware of the greatest creator always watching everyone. Here are two. The first is that you never dare to speak carelessly, let alone to do anything unruly, because you know that you will be punished if you say or do anything wrong. You will not make mistakes, especially when you are out of everyone's sight. The second is that you will only say the right words and do the right things, and you do not need to worry about anything else because the greatest creator is always watching over you and will surely reward you. As Christ Jesus taught us, do not worry about what you will eat, drink, or wear tomorrow. First ask for the kingdom of the greatest creator and the righteousness of the greatest creator. If at every moment, especially when no one sees us, we think about the greatest creator watching us, then we will no longer dare to talk nonsense or act recklessly. In this way, life will be smoother and we will be further from hell and closer to heaven. What is more is that when we think like that, we will lose all of our worries, anxieties, and fears, and our lives will follow very wonderful paths. Realizing that the greatest creator is always watching oneself is quite different from not realizing it. If you do not believe it, try it for a period of time and learn its effect. 取生命绿洲不仅要有教养和修养，还要有涵养。A good upbringing and self-cultivation are required in the new and self-restraint is also required. Required. Xiefeng. February 8, 2017. Translated by Qin Yu and edited by Peter. Upbringing is civilized politeness that is learned from family, school, and society. Self-cultivation is a civilized attitude towards others, which is developed from the level of theory, knowledge, art, thought, and other aspects that a person possesses. Self-restraint is the ability, which a person with profound morals possesses to control one's emotions. We have already talked about upbringing and self-cultivation. This article will focus on the issue of self-restraint. A person who can't control his emotions is a person who has no self-restraint. This, pointing out others' defects and deficiencies, tornado in our home showed me that most of our brothers and sisters have self-restraint, which is mainly reflected in the calmness and humility of accepting suggestions and expressing gratitude when others point out their defects and deficiencies. If others point out our defects and deficiencies, not only will we not accept it, but we will also resist it and defend ourselves. This is a serious lack of self-restraint. People who lack upbringing will be thought of with disgust, people who lack self-cultivation will be despised, and people who lack self-restraint will be kept at a respectful distance. Even if the defects and deficiencies that others point out are not in line with the facts, if you defend yourself or resist, or even yell and talk about it everywhere, you are showing no self-restraint. It is clear that you have been misunderstood and misinterpreted, but if you must still accept it with a modest and calm attitude and express your gratitude. That is the expression of profound self-restraint. We can only sail in deep water, and only when we have self-restraint can people respect us and be willing to walk with us. How can we have self-restraint? Set up Mahayana's wish, great vow. Follow the ancient and modern saints. Do not treat yourself as noble. Do not lose your temper. Do not bully honest people. Do not make fun of others. Do not be unreasonable. Do not be unforgiving. Do not make casual promises. Do not impose your will on others. Do not cry and shout. Do not have loose lips. Do not shut yourself up. Do not ask for help easily. Do not make trouble without a reason. Do not interrupt others casually. Do not always teach others. Do not behave badly. Do not act grumpily. Do not look sloppy and messy. And do not hurt people with words. The future new oasis for life will no longer be like the original second home. You cannot stay long without a good upbringing, self-cultivation, and self-restraint. Please make the effort.
付出奉献不要带有目的。
Give and devote unconditionally. Xiefeng. February 21st, 2017. Translated by Qin Yu and edited by Peter, the devotion that comes from selfless almsgiving is not done to attain any material object or purpose. When it is because there is no object and purpose to this devotion, the merit of formless almsgiving is the greatest form of devotion, which to some can be inconceivable. There are various forms of devotion. Anyone who selflessly gives away one's material, spiritual, and soul wealth shows devotion. Devotion without a purpose is impossible for ordinary people. The devotion of the world has a utilitarian purpose. After giving, people have a kind of expectation, expecting to achieve one's own goal, expecting to realize one's own ideal. The devotion of those with the Mahayana wish is not purposeful. They just give, and never expect to get anything in return or achieve any goal. Devotion for a purpose is because you don't understand the way of the greatest creator. The way of the greatest creator is just and fair. If you don't believe in the greatest creator and the fairness of the way of the greatest creator, you will not be able to be devoted without some purpose. Only by being selfless can you reach your goal, and only by being selfless can you accomplish this yourself. The more selfless you are, the more you can enjoy everything. The more selfless you are, the more you can experience happiness and freedom. If you are truly unselfish and selfless, you are a celestial being or Buddha, or even a god. The sum of the positive and negative energies of the universe is zero. The more you give, the more you will receive and enjoy. As long as you give, your receiving won't go away, you will definitely receive. If it weren't like this, the universe would have disappeared long ago to obtain the blessings of the kingdom of heaven. We must give all our life. If we want to get the blessings of the kingdom of heaven by just giving a little, it definitely won't do. We need to give ourselves completely. In reality, we are often confused by a phenomenon. That is, many people seem to have paid but did not get anything in return, so they feel that the Tao is unreliable. Since the Tao is unreliable, they use human ingenuity, dexterity, and cleverness, which is the cognition of the mortal eye. If you have the Dharma eye and the Buddha eye, you will see that once you have devoted yourself, you will get a corresponding gain. If you pay by money, you may not get money, you may get health and safety, or your bad causal trajectory might be changed. You may get your wealth stored in heaven, which you will enjoy in heaven after your death, and so on. We should give and make devotion without considering what others will do. You give yours and others give theirs. Don't hope to get compliments or rewards from others. The troubles and pains of the world come from always expecting and demanding from others. Once their goal is not achieved, whether I can receive or not, I am an honest person. I don't have deep wisdom, profound knowledge, and impressive skills. I don't have a backer that can make me rise to the top. I only have a one-track mind, which is my firm belief that the greatest creator is perceptive of the slightest. The Tao has a fair arrangement for everything, and that selfless devotion will lead to a glorious tomorrow and future. 让我们活在精神心灵世界里。